Here's the new Star Wars X-Wing fighter and the Star Wars TIE fighter. Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately, batteries not included.
I'll get you this time, Luke. Reactivate X-Wing.
Both have flashing lights and sound.
A hit! There go the solar panels. And Darth Vader got away. The Force is with me. Luke Skywalker wins again.
Kenner's Star Wars X-Wing fighter, TIE fighter, and action figures all sold separately.
Muted. What's up, guys?
Man, Gabe, what an intro, isn't it? I mean,
Did it work? I don't know if it worked. I had to.
it was 100%. I mean, I was just for like 25 seconds. I was in just back to my childhood, brother. Yeah, that was badass. Good job, man. I love that. Thanks for surprising me with that.
Yeah, man. Like, gotta keep it all TIE fighters today.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, it was best said. Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for your Saturday evening once again, and I am so excited to be hanging out with you guys and my co-host Gabe. Gabe, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Yeah, today, we figured today we would kind of narrow it down, and we were talking about TIE fighters during the week, and obviously there's so many options out there, and we were thinking about it. It's like, wait, we pretty much own every single option out there, like, right? We have them. So, like, why not? Let's focus on that. Let's kind of really talk about these TIE fighters, the studio scale, obviously the original vintage ones and beyond, right? Because there's some other companies that are coming out with some TIE fighters that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, figured let's narrow it down a little bit today.
Yeah, before we jump into that, dude, did you watch Mandalorian this week?
Yeah. Oh, it's
okay. All right, everybody in the chat. I don't know about you guys, but this was hands down, in my humble opinion, and everybody knows how I am about all this shit. It was one of the best episodes of Mandalorian that I've seen. The first episode had the original, the ones that really I was enjoying, but this one right here was really, really cool. And actually, after watching it, there's so many things that I learned about it, like that
Mythosaur.
Yeah, that was underneath the water. So guys, I don't ever, all I know is Empire Strikes Back and when he gets shot off the skiff and into the Sarlacc pit. I don't know all the details about what's on his deal and what Tom Spina at Regal Robot's selling. I don't know about all that shit. And today, I was talking to a few people actually this morning, and I found out about it. And then I was talking to Gabe, and I never knew the details about, like, when he went in the water and went, all the way plummeting to the bottom. Yeah. And when he came up, seeing that creature, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But that was really cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see that, because it really came out of just that little symbol on Boba Fett's armor, right?
That's crazy. It starts
right, and then at first there wasn't really like even a name for it. Like, I remember as a kid, and I think we talked about this with Tom Spina. We used to call it a bantha skull, even though obviously we knew it was a bantha. It didn't really look like a bantha, but we called it a bantha skull. And it wasn't until later, I guess in the comic books somewhere, they talked about a mythosaur. But it really wasn't until the Mandalorian came out, like the series, where they referenced, this mythosaur, right? This creature. Um, and well, I mean, again, there's been mention, and obviously there's, in the encyclopedias and the books and all that stuff, but like you never heard it on film, until the Mandalorian, and
Right.
then we actually got to see it, and little glimpse of it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the story behind the story. You don't, you
Yeah, yeah.
know,
So it's yeah, like that skull right there, right? Like
yeah.
ultimately, and it's kind of
So,
cool 'cause you see the horns and everything.
so what really caught my attention, like probably a lot of the, of the old school guys like me, is R5, right? It's pretty cool how he was in
Yeah,
the deal, and where he came from. So, and
yeah,
he's kind of a puss robot. It was really cool though that they kept him alive, and I was like, hey, R5, I want a R5D4. I want a life size R5.
yeah.
But
And
yeah, that's so cool.
that's the perfect amount of like fan service too, in my opinion, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, yeah, it was cool seeing Luke kind of coming back. Yeah, sure, and you see like, Yoda's lightsaber and stuff. But I'd rather it just keep them separate, little hints here or there. You know what I mean? And R5 was perfect for that.
Yes, 100%. So Jedi, he says the biker scout is so beautiful. I think the stormtrooper, snow trooper, and all the biker scout are so consistently well designed,
Yeah,
unlike the clown troopers. That's funny. What do you think about the biker scout, brother?
love it, man. That
So,
again, that's my favorite trooper. I love
man,
it.
you know what? I was talking to my friend Warren. Who I've got
Mhm.
the Teen Wolf
Yeah,
from. And we were talking last night actually, and he was bringing up like the snow trooper. I love the freaking snow trooper too,
yeah,
but the scout trooper, hands down, he's my favorite. I
yeah.
mean, so this mannequin, if anybody's into the life size, this is the fully posable one. So it's almost like having a 6 scale GI Joe doll, so I can move him in any pose, and it's fun, posing him and stuff. So I can move his arms, his fingers, everything,
That's
and it's badass. He'll look good next to the life size speeder bike. You know what I mean?
like yeah. The rest of that's gonna be cool, man.
Fucking badass. So
Yeah,
guess where this guy's going?
yeah.
But yeah, so I just got real quick before we get back into our topic. You guys, if y'all were here in my home last night when I got the mannequin in, I've had thanks to my friend Sean, our guy, Sean, he's on our show, Star Trekker. But is it Star Trekker? Is it Star
Star
Trekker?
Wars tracker, yeah.
Star Wars Tracker.
Mm.
And he hooked me up with this guy, and because I was trying forever to get with Rob, and we were going back and forth, but there was zero communication. So I ended up getting this thing. But putting this thing together, you guys would lose a rib laughing so hard because I get so fucking frustrated trying to dress one of these. Have you ever dressed a mannequin, Gabe? Oh my
Uh,
God.
I
It's a motherfucker. Excuse my language. I mean, putting this thing together, I'm like turning red, and I'm like trying to put the boot on, and the other thing's falling down. And I'm like, and if it wasn't for my wonderful wife, Denise, I mean, dude, she helped me with my life size Vader, put it together. But she was like, honey, just relax. It's supposed to be fun. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So that's good. So anyway, she helps me, and about an hour later, boom, we got it together. And then I was happy. So,
yeah,
but thank you to my wife, Denise, for having the patience to get me through this mock up. She worked at Bell's forever. So she dressed mannequins all the time. So it's no big deal to her.
yeah. It
So
looks great, man.
it's a mother freaker, dude, dressing a
Yeah,
mannequin, Gabe, dude.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, I just had that half bust, right? The half mannequin that I did the robe, like the emperor robes on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was hard because I had to like remove the arms and then insert the arms like through the cloak. Yeah, no, I get you. I could, and especially that. I mean, I could definitely see that be super frustrating.
Yeah, that's
It looks
crazy.
great, man. It looks great.
Thank you so much, and thank you to
Yeah,
everybody's comments. Appreciate you guys. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Let's say,
badass, dude. It's really cool.
yeah. Let's say hi to everybody. What's up, McFly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey,
Steven.
Steven, I'll see you and your wife next week.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're coming down. I'm looking forward to it.
Janine, what's up, Janine? How you doing? I know. Hey, Janine, we missed you last week. We were we had all bunch of the wives on, and we were missing you.
It
So
was it was awesome. That was a fun, and that was after we got off, right? We should have been live, but we weren't, right?
no, yeah. So after
Yeah.
we got
So
on,
I
my
mean, we
wife,
literally had like 5 wives on. I mean,
yeah,
we had Gabe's wife, my wife, we had Joel's wife.
uh-huh,
It was
yeah,
such a good
we got
time.
the Bowmans.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
That's something that it could go both ways. But that
Yeah,
night, it was a
we
good
had,
night.
we had Scott on, but we were missing Janine.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Scott was like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
And Janine, you're out of control right now. I mean, I'm seeing all these Instagram posts.
I know.
Congrats on everything that you're doing. It's crazy.
Yeah, look, grilled cheese. Brad, what's up, Brad? Far from
Matt, I didn't even get a text from you today. I'm disappointed, dude. What's up?
dead. Des, what's up? Hey, Sean, what's up, Sean? Dude,
Hey,
Sean's been working on his collection, man. He's been setting it all up. He's been posting.
very
Looking
cool.
good, man. Looking good.
Very cool.
Kelvin, what's up, Kelvin? How you doing?
Good to see you, Kelvin. Thank you, man.
John, yeah, we're gonna talk Thai tonight for
Yeah.
sure. Um, Dan, what's up, Dan? How are you?
Hey, buddy. What's going on? Good to see you, Dan. 11 my Wampa, brother.
Right?
It's still sitting on my coffee table, dude. I don't know how long it's going to sit there because it's like, there you are, Pete. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to move that heavy ass bastard anywhere else. So I'm thinking that it's going to sit right in the middle of the dinner table. So Thanksgiving, who gives
Yep.
a shit to everybody else? That's right. Let's give thanks with the Wampa at the dinner
Yeah.
table because that shit ain't moving nowhere.
Armando, what's up? Solo Fat, what up? Robbie, how you doing?
Hey,
Uh,
what's up, buddy?
yeah, yeah. Matt, what's up, Matt? How are you?
I know.
We gotta get Matt on the show.
Yeah, we'll have him on in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I've talked to him about it. So
Big Cat Pete. Yeah, we'll be showing Pete. So yeah, one of the typewriters that we're gonna be showing is the one that Pete sold me. And yeah, I'm showing
that's a
that.
post I sent him, Afternoon Delight. Just read the message and understand it and move on. Dude, that's hilarious. I love you, Pete. You're great.
So, but yeah, so as our buddies are kind of rolling in, yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, we wanted to go through just TIE fighters, right? Because there's so many, and we wanted
Oh
to.
yeah.
So Michael, do you remember when you were a kid? Like, do you remember getting that Kenner TIE fighter like originally?
Man, Gabe, thank you for even saying that because yes, I do. At 53 years old, it's funny because my wife's like, "You don't remember that? It was like 6 months ago." But when it comes to, when I was 7 years old, I was at McDonald's and
Mhm.
I even have that picture in the, I'm taking a picture by my Darth Vader cake in the McDonald's birthday party. And you can see the presents wrapped. And you can see one box that now, if you're into it, it's the Death Star. And it could either be the TIE fighter or it could be the X-Wing, but it was the TIE fighter. And oh man, Gabe, I remember it. And what's so cool about it is I still have that same TIE fighter today.
That's that's the cool
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So
Um.
I
So,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously that was the original, right? That was the one from the first.
So
Right?
that was the very first one. So actually, that TIE fighter, when we had Jim Swearingen on, that was one of the things that he worked on at the beginning before Star Wars even came out.
Right.
And it's so cool, Gabe. How many people out there can say we had Jim Swearingen on there, the original Kenner Star Wars guru that created the original 11 action figures, but yeah, so it's fun talking about that stuff. So, but yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, it's what blows my mind, Gabe, about like these type like this the Kenner TIE fighter. Let's start with that. So it when it came out, it was such an incredible cool thing because if you went and saw Star Wars, it was like just a toy that now not many people have seen before with a little push button laser light and stuff. But the fact is that I mean there was nothing out there like that.
Yeah.
There was nothing. And what's crazy today is, it's a toy that's, there's people on YouTube, you can watch videos on how to restore it. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
well, that's what Solofet's saying, right? That
Oh, I didn't see that.
it's yeah, all the vintage stuff starts yellowing. The decals start falling off, obviously, and there's I'm sure there's tons of ways to restore them, and I'm sure a bunch of people have been.
Hey,
Vince is
so
yeah,
real quick before we get into Vince, so SoloFet, you may
yeah,
know this, you may not, from maybe a couple of my videos or someone else on the internet. But if you do have like your stormtrooper, and there's nothing better than having your own, even if it's freaking yellow. But if you want, check it out. You can put this thing in hydrogen peroxide, and you can put it out in the sun and let it sit, like in a hot day. Let it sit in the sun in hydrogen peroxide in a clear bottle tube, and just you can turn it around, make sure it's getting sun on all aspects of the figure, and it'll blow your freaking mind. I guarantee you, at the end of the day, that thing will be white. However, in 6 months or so, it very well may weather back to its original yellow, just because of the dyes that were mixed in the plastics. But that's something that works on most figures. Just FYI.
So Vince, just really quick, I'm not going to ICCC. Are you going, Michael, or no?
Not
No, probably not this year. You went last year, right?
ICC. What?
The Nashville one.
I'm not. Yeah, I just happened to be coming through there. No, when is that? What month is that?
I think it's coming up. It's either next week or
then no way.
or somewhere like that, right? Or in April, maybe. I don't know.
It's crazy. That's when I went and got the Wampa. So I was coming back through, and I got to go back up and pick up Jaws, and I'm going to be coming back through. But
Maybe
it's probably about a good 5 weeks off to be done. Yeah, that's cool though.
Hey, JPF props.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, try it SoloFet and let me know. I'm curious. Let me know.
So yeah, so let's I want to bring up really quick. See if you can. I'm sorry if it's a little slow here. Can you hold on?
Thank you, brother. Thanks for the comment on the Scout Trooper. Yeah, I love this guy.
Let me get this going. I don't know why it's giving me a little bit of a hard time to share this. Oh no, great. Let's see.
You're good. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't. Yeah, it's not letting me share all the pictures that I had ready to go.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Okay, end of May 26th. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, I don't think, man, it might be close. SoloFet, are you going? Because you went.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm in June. I'm going to be at, I'm meeting all the guys at Wonderfest, the studio deal.
Yeah.
It'd be cool, Gabe, if you could go.
That would be cool. Michael, I need to be able to share these pictures. For some reason, I think my Chrome window needs an update really quick. I'm gonna jump off. Give me like 2 minutes. You guys keep.
No problem. I'll talk. We're good. Do your thing, Gabe.
That way I can fix all this.
Yeah, do your thing. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to start out with Jedi. Mike, do you have the Biker Scout Kenner pistol? Yes, I do. It's over in the gallery. I haven't been over there shooting our videos in the gallery for probably a couple months. You know, the craziest thing is about my Star Killer videos. I haven't shot a video in probably 8 months because I've just been so preoccupied with the dark side that I just haven't shot a video, but we're like 500 subscribers. So thank you to all those 500 subscribers. And real quick before Gabe, we get started. Yes, this is a wearable costume. So for all you guys, it is wearable. And this is obviously, if you special order it through RS, I would assume you let them know all your particular sizes. This size is an XL. The mannequin is right at 6 foot. He's pretty big actually. So, but he fits in real good. And this is again the weathered version, and it does have the a mannequin in there. So let me show you guys real quick. As I was turning this head.
And you did say so that is an RS, right? You said
It is. Yeah, this one's RS. So this is the proper thing. I was turning the helmet on it and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Show you guys since we're on that cut, and then we'll jump into the ties. So look at the weathering, everything about it.
Yeah.
And you recognize that pistol. You can get that limited pistol that Gabe has if you buy the actual costume.
Mm-hmm.
And the back's pretty cool too. Got the Teen Wolf over here.
Brad's like, put it on, we'll watch.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
Far from that. You're dressing your mannequin, Mike.
Oh man, shoot me, brother. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Start talking about them.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this first one, obviously, a lot of it we're gonna start, and these are usually pictures from our collection that we're gonna be showing.
Yeah.
No, Michael. So this is your original Kenner.
This is the original Kenner tie right now. Yeah.
That's kind of where it all started, right? I mean, this is
that was one of the first toys that was released. That was in the toy store that of a vehicle, and man, it's got the the wings that fly apart, and I mean these guys, as everybody knows, it's in the chat that I mean they were hauling ass to get these things put together, and hearing Jim talk about what went into the time frame to get some of these things knocked out was like, whoa, what I mean? So it was crazy. But
yeah. So that's cool. So then after the Kenner one, after this version, there's another version that came out, right? Was it an Empire Strikes Back or a Return of the Jedi?
Good question. So in Empire Strikes Back, they came out with, and it's argued, but in Return of the Jedi as well, but they did come out with it, and it's the damaged TIE Fighter because they never came out, obviously, with the TIE Bomber. So, yeah, that was it. And at the same time, they came out with this damaged deal. Obviously, they changed the dye and the color of the plastics, same molds, different decal. And then they did that also with the X-Wing as well.
Yeah. Man.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
It's kind of cheesy damage, but hey, look, that's how it was done in the early 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's kind of interesting to think about, like that they chose to go with white right at first. And again, that's probably something we should have asked Jim when we had him on, because I didn't really ask him why they chose white, instead of some type of like gray or like this bluish tint, right?
That's exactly right. And to JPF, so yes, on the Biker Scout, Gabe, they came out with a certain number of the Biker Scout pistols, and you got one of those, right?
Oh yeah, for this one, yeah. Oh yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I think it was 125. I think they did.
Yeah, that's cheap. There's only a few of them out that went. After that was it, right?
Yeah, after that you got to get it like with the whole ensemble.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually, I didn't have this in my original collection. I got this later in life, the gray version, but of course the X1 that you have right up there on the top there. Yep. On the gray one. Yep. So
the micro.
Yeah, that's actually, it's funny that good job, dude. It's hard to tell in this picture if it's a micro or if it's the Kenner, the bigger one, the action figure version,
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the micro collection.
Hey, that's what I was going to ask you, Michael, because I had the TIE Interceptor as a kid, the Kenner one. Do you have the Kenner? You have all of them?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think you sent a video to me, like where you kind of go right. You're showing them all, kind of.
On the diecast, yes.
Well, no, I'm
Yes.
saying like the Kenner, like the
I
action.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got them all. I've sent them
Okay.
all to you.
Show that in a little bit.
Yeah, so
Um.
this is one that even Gabe has.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Because
was
they.
a badass deal back when I was a kid. I remember very well. My first piece was the Millennium Falcon of the diecast.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can see the paint, the metal on the actual the die cast piece versus the plastic pieces.
Mhm.
And for Solofet, when I was talking to him about the yellowing,
Yeah.
so
Great.
this piece right here, when I very first got this,
Mhm.
I actually dyed. I put all this in peroxide. I mean, for you guys that don't know, this was a very, very rare piece. This was the last of the diecast pieces that were released.
Mhm.
So this is sought after piece. Very, I mean, raw loose like this is. I mean, you can be lucky and find them for 500, but they're usually around 1,500 in a
Yeah.
box. They're 3,000 plus. But I
Mhm.
did put this thing. It was scary when I got this because this is exactly how it looked. And I
Yeah.
did put it in the peroxide, and it was all white. Soup, everything was white. And then a good year later or so, that's it. So I've decided just to leave it. I
Yeah.
mean, look, it's a 45-year-old toy.
Yeah. Vegan. Yeah.
So
And it's kind of cool because like these tie bombers, right? They're usually referred to as the chili dogs, right? Like,
yep, that's yeah. In the studio model world, that's exactly what they called it. Yep. That's
yeah, and it not it. Do you know where that story comes from? I think, or do you?
There's a couple stories, but yeah, they Phil Tippett and them were at lunch, and
Yeah.
we're talking about. It's funny how they came up with names for a lot of like even the creatures.
Mhm.
It was kind of the same thing. It
Yeah.
just reminded them, of a chili dog, so that's what they called it.
Yeah, like cool, right? Like at the restaurant where they would go eat or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Double chili dog.
So now this right here, that's the action figure one, right?
That's the Kenner version. Yep. The decals on this one's pretty bad, but look, I mean, what little kid, not all parents put the decals on. I mean, this kid here was like, I'll put it on, and then they look like shit. But yeah, but and what's really cool nowadays, you can buy aftermarket, you know, decals, that's what's really cool is, we're to be able to keep the vintage, so you find a beat up TIE fighter for $28 on eBay, and
Yeah.
you buy all the decals and do all your stuff and restore it, and you got, maybe 150 in it total.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that piece.
And that's from another.
In it, what's so crazy is look at the year that this thing was released. We're
Mhm.
talking 1978, 79 action,
Yeah.
and the details of that. The only thing about those damn things, and I know Pete will know what I'm talking about, Armando, but the damn wings left coast, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those damn wings wouldn't stay on for nothing. I mean, they're
Oh
designed to
yeah.
pop off, but those fuckers would be flying off all. I mean, it's like you couldn't even set it down. You have to set it down real neat, or the wing would fall off. But
Yeah.
it's pretty
Well,
cool.
check this out. Let me see if it landed in there. Yeah. So this is my little collection set up, and look, I had it. Oops, had it right there. See it?
Oh, that's cool, Gabe. Badass.
Yeah.
Gabe, I'm going to tell you, man.
I
I
had the
think,
Interceptor too at one point.
listen, you had a
Mhm.
micro machines, Hoth.
No. Oh, who?
This is your stuff.
This is mine. But that's the action figure one. That's the
Okay, but you had the micro collection and all that.
no. That's not the micro collection. That's the Hoth one. Yeah, yeah. I had
Yes.
the micro. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Don't tell me now. I got three of those some bitches. So
Yeah.
listen.
No, I thought you're talking about the Tie Fighter. No,
No,
no.
no,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
no.
The Hoth. Yeah.
So look, we might have showed on our very first episode some
Mhm.
photos of my collection. When I was like younger.
In the
And
90s.
Gabe, it's very similar to the shelves setup as yours. That's so cool, dude.
That's
Isn't
funny.
that awesome? Like I'm surprised, even though I know you got rid of like a lot of that probably got chunked,
Uh-huh.
that you haven't bought all that stuff again.
I know, I will. I mean, I think eventually, down the line, I will. Just out of
Yes, yes.
let me
Look at
get
that. I had a ton of the models.
yeah. Well, but yeah, that was like for me, that was the thing. Like I wanted that biker scout like model, right? Like I wanted a bigger, more realistic one. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Brad, trust me, dude. I had some pictures actually when I moved to California to get a job in a model shop. I had these photos of this I made out of um, 4x8 sheets of plywood and country crock butters for the thrusters. I built the Star Destroyer, and it's kind of looking back, it was kind of cheesy, but it got me a job in the industry. But that all being said, though, I lost all those pictures, man. And if I could have one of those pictures, dude, I'd pay $1,000 to have one of those pictures back.
Right? And
Yeah, yeah,
now these are studio scale. So we'll get into the studio scale ones in a little bit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I kind of threw in some of the actually, yeah. We'll come back to those. Now I want to show the videos really quick
Yeah.
because you sent me one where you have all of the Kenner ones, right? Let me try to locate it really quick though. Now if I grab, because Michael, you sent me a few. Let me
Yeah, left coast. You're right. It is a good scale for those. I didn't know that though. You said that makes sense.
I'm just gonna start opening up videos, Michael, because I didn't label them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so everybody knows that's the original Kenner
Yeah,
Top Fighter right there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It was cool when Gabe was like, "Hey, Michael, can you take some pictures of some of the Tie Fighters?" When I
Yeah.
just go over there, I mean, this is like when I'm like, man, I don't really see that stuff. I've been so away from it all and being
Yeah.
there, and it's just crazy seeing that stuff.
Yeah. So there's this one.
Yeah.
That's so
That,
cool.
that,
Yeah,
that one's really clean.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that one. That one's one of those ones that I always wanted, but and then
Yeah, I didn't have it either.
got
Yeah,
you
and everybody knows.
right.
Yeah, everybody wants that thing. I remember as a kid going to this little. It was before Comic Cons even were invented.
Mm-hmm.
We were going, and there was one of these in a package, and it was $400. And I didn't have my driver's license yet, and
Yeah.
it was $400. I remember that way back.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Let me see
and
if
I
I.
ended up at that convention. I ended up spending $100 on the Jawa sandcrawler,
Yeah.
remote control sandcrawler. Yep.
Those. Sorry, and I'm kind of just I'm going through them as
No, I'm glad it's
as,
okay.
as
Good.
we're looking.
That's what people want to see.
These are. This one
Yeah,
is
so this is the studio scale tie bomber. This one's a lot smaller. It's crazy because that one's a lot smaller than your normal 124 scale.
yeah, and we'll get to those. I just want to let me see. I want to find the
Yeah.
one. There's one where you pick up. I saw. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so those are all the Kenner ones, right?
So those are the Hasbro versions. So those are the
Okay.
ones that looked more like a studio scale ship.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually have one. I'll go get it from the garage.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Those are badass because hell,
mhm.
they're real similar. If I didn't do it, but if I put that next to a studio scale TIE
Yeah,
fighter, it's pretty freaking close, dude.
close, right?
Yeah. It's real close.
So yeah, so obviously there's a lot of options. Actually, I'm gonna go get that right now because I think that's a cool thing to show.
Which one
Um,
do you have? You have the white one?
I have the one that was an exclusive. It was an exclusive to Toys R Us, I think.
Yeah.
And it's the big, like the wings are big. I mean, it's pretty much studio scale. Let me go grab it. Hold
Yeah, go get it. Yeah, Brad. So exactly. There's a lot of people that have converted, even like the newer Hasbro Millennium Falcon. They've converted theirs into similar to the studio scale um, version of the ship. But yeah, those are badass. There's a lot of people out there that are taking the Hasbro version and putting lights on it and everything, and it's pretty nice, you know. Even Janine, I mean, she's taking some of these and making them fantastic. Yeah, there's a kit out there where you can get really crazy on the Hasbro Millennium Falcon. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's crazy ass stuff. So let's see. So I can
I got it.
because
Yeah,
look at that.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from like the studio scale. Hold on. Let me
Yeah, it is fun.
right. It has like the big wings.
Yep. Yeah, it's just they were so big for on it. You know, you had to put it down to prop them the correct way. Yeah,
Okay.
grilled cheese. It's a good time converting, and you know, it's a good way to kind of get into the hobby actually if you're wanting to ever do it.
I'm trying to see if the year is printed on here somewhere.
It should be around 99.
Yeah, I feel like that's around the time that I would have purchased this. But yeah, I mean it's really cool, and I bet you if I weathered it and made it look cool, I mean it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, it does look kind of like the MR one, but if the right color. So they did a couple of them. In the
Yeah.
other one that I had in that picture, I would say it's almost like the Black Series scale,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually a hanging lamp, and I took the lamp that one of these furniture stores had and made it. I was going to make it. I just never did anything with it. So
Um. So yeah. So let's talk about the studio scale ones because I think that's a lot of people are kind of jumping in, and that's one of those models that's everyone's gonna want that, right? Like if you're gonna
yeah.
start getting into studio scales, I mean, the TIE Fighter, the X-wing, I mean, those are kind of musts, right? Um,
So kind of for there's a lot of obviously our diehards that are watching that know, but those that don't. So back in the mid '90s, um, uh, in the early '90s, Star Wars was pretty much had no heartbeat left. I mean, it barely was even alive. And then in the mid '90s, Kenner Hasbro, introduced the muscular Star Wars action figures again, and it
mhm,
sparked a lot of interest for us old school guys, right? And
yeah,
it was the same with Don Post Studios started coming out, Icons, God, who else, Gabe? Some of these other big name guys,
yeah,
and that's when like the master replicas. I think it was a
right,
little bit. So it was kind of for more of the high end collector, which would have been
right,
us old school guys, right?
yeah,
And that's when they introduced, something that wasn't really heard of, something similar to a studio scale, and not many people even knew what studio scale was.
yeah,
Even when I started doing my Star Killer 77 videos, not a lot
yeah,
of people knew about what studio scale
yeah.
was. Now everybody knows, and
And
yeah,
this was, and this, I think this was the first officially licensed studio scale out to the public,
that's
which
correct. Yep.
which yeah, I mean it was in the 90s. Icons Collectibles had the license, so they modeled this after the pyro model, one of the ones that they're gonna blew up, um
Yep.
and yeah, they ended up making this model. And what's cool about it is the base, right? And a lot of people are like, man, that's really cool.
Yep.
There's not a lot of information to know like whether they actually used the cast, some of the castings to make the base. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see why
No, they didn't.
no, it was just, but see, they had, think about it, in the 90s, I mean, those are accurate, right? Because I have a screen use piece and I put it up to it and it's accurate. So it came from a mold. It came from an original mold,
Yeah.
whether it's from Lucasfilm or some outside party.
Right.
In the 90s, I mean, not a lot of people had access to that. So I mean,
Right.
whether there's lineage, I'm sure there's some lineage. Whether it came direct from Lucasfilm, maybe not. I mean, right? Um, but it looks damn cool, right? Like just
Yeah.
that base is so cool. Um, and then and the size, right? Like the size of it. As soon as you start comparing it to there's the base.
Yeah, because those, if the base of those pieces that you see down there, I have half scale ones in my 16-foot trench
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's seen with my studio scale ships in there.
Yeah.
But the accurate size of those, where they shot on the back lot and that you see in the film, those each one of those footprints of the pieces are approximately 2 feet, 2 feet by 2 feet. They're freaking
Oh no,
huge.
oh, no, but there's also the smaller
Yes.
ones, right? So
Yes.
they did the trench run that's up on the wall,
Yeah.
but then they did the smaller versions where they're like,
Yeah. I don't know when I don't know if they use that for Return of the Jedi or because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not real familiar with those, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
no, I mean for sure, yeah, they for sure did the smaller pieces. So there's
Yeah.
the big ones and then the smaller. This is a screen use piece right here
Right.
from
Right.
from A New Hope. You kind of see the yellowing
That's
of
from
it.
A New Hope.
That's from A New Hope. Yeah,
Man, that blows my mind. That's something I'm learning right now. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
that's what I'm telling you. Like they made the smaller ones, and then they had the big ones for the trench run scene, right, where they were filming. Yeah, there's that famous picture where they're
Yeah,
filming.
they run the car and down the back lot in that sumbitch. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah, but they also did all the smaller ones for like
Yeah.
the bigger shots,
I
kind of
never
like
knew that for Star Wars. Return of the Jedi, yeah, but I didn't know that.
yeah, no, for Star Wars
That's
for
very
sure.
cool. Very
Um,
cool.
and you can still find them. I mean, Prop Shop sells them all the time. They pop up every once in a while from A New Hope, and I think there's. Well, in fact,
So,
yeah,
hey, Gabe, that's an EFX. Is that TIE Fighter? What brand is that?
the Icons one.
Icons. Okay.
And see, look at EFX, right? They use the molds, and look how small they are.
Yeah.
And see, and this right here. So they casted this from like an original mold, right? If you see here, look at there's the Kit Kats, right? Look, oops, right here.
That's funny, Kit Kat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what they call them. So
Badass. Yep, they're right
this,
on.
this
Spot
one's
on.
a screen like a screen use piece. That's the one that EFX used. And again, I've matched these to the Icons one, and the Icons matches the size and everything. So that's what
That's
I'm
really
saying.
cool. That's cool.
Whether they took it from like some mold somewhere, um, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there has to be some lineage to it because of the time frame, right?
Yeah.
Because in the '90s, now these days, people 3D print them all the time, and I mean, it's different. But back in the '90s, not a lot of people had that
Hey,
specs.
Brad, I don't need coffee. I've already had plenty of wine. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been busting my ass for 8 days straight, dude. Dieting.
Um, and then here, I'm just gonna go through some of the videos that I pulled up. So, have you seen this one, Mike? Did I show you this one? The
Dude,
Cantwell.
that's so badass. No,
The Cantwell. So, Micro Machines.
that's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Micro Machines. Hot Wheels released a set recently through the Disney parks of all the Cantwell ships. So I bought this one, and again, it has the Falcon, it has this one, it has the Luke's speeder, like land speeder. Um, Very cool. But this one I wanted to display. So the Cantwell one, and then yeah, the micro collection. Right now, this one, the reason why I have it here is because in Return of the Jedi, right, we all know that they ended up using these Kenner ones as background little TIE fighters during some of the heavy scenes where there's a lot of TIE fighters, a lot of action going on. They actually use the Kenner ones.
Man, that thing is like mint. Your diecast TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
That
Oh
thing
yeah.
is clean, dude.
Yeah, I
Damn.
found one. I bought it, recently, right? Remember a few
Yeah, I
months.
remember when you got it. Was it in a package?
It wasn't in a package, but I just made sure I bought one that was like mint.
You think that thing's really nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad that Colin, in his his late age, and then he ended up passing away. And
Yeah.
we had, Sierra on our show talking about him, and he never got to. He's being highlighted now after his death. You know what I mean? A lot of these pieces have come out after, the guy. You know what I mean? It's kind of shitty.
Yeah. And then if I get the wrong one. Okay, so and then obviously there's the unlicensed ones, right? Like MYC and
Yeah.
MYC. These are coming out. I mean, I've seen a lot of people with multiple of them, like George from the Hyperdrive. I saw him. He had the setup with the 2
Yep.
with the X1 in the middle.
Yep.
Look great.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously they're polystone, right? I think.
Yes. Yep.
So probably very similar to the icons and very similar to the EFX.
Yes.
But size-wise, obviously they're exact size, right?
They're pretty close. They're not exact, but they're close. They're very close.
Gotcha.
And this isn't the weathered version. So apparently he released a weathered version, and a clean version. And when I say, it's MYC, Michael, and he did a fantastic job, and he donated that for the restaurant, which is a big shout out, a thank you to him for that.
And now, Mike,
here you're looking at the studio scale.
So there, you could kind of see right there the size difference, right? It's just
in the cool shade.
Yeah.
It's not very often that you'll see actual cool shade on a TIE fighter. So,
nice.
Yeah, the paint.
Is it okay to say who did this one for you?
So I have 2. One of them was built by Ben Yetter, and I can't release the name of the other guy.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it's badass.
Very cool.
So I have a bunch of the original studio scales. When I say a bunch, I have 3 studios.
Yeah.
So
Brad, no, oops, where is he? Right here. Brad, no, there's no droop on it. I've heard there's more droop on the
X-Wing. Yeah, there's no droop really on the TIE fighter. It's the X-Wing.
Yeah, but no, this one's perfect. That was one of the things. Yeah, that's probably the first thing I asked Pete when Pete was selling it. I was like, are the wings any? Is there any droop in it?
It's funny that you say that because the Icons X-Wing that had the droop that he's talking about, that sat actually on George Lucas's desk. It was his personal piece on his desk. It's in the collection of Kurt Kuhn, and he talks about it in a video.
Very cool.
By the way, I talked to Kurt Gabe about a week ago. That guy's, kicking and doing well, man. He's still doing his thing, man.
They're not supposed to light up.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I totally forgot to show. So obviously there's another licensed one, the EFX collectibles one, right? Which, I mean, color wise and everything, it's very close to the Icons one. Very similar, probably similarly made. And this is it. And then the lights light up on the EFX one on the back, right? And you could turn them on and turn them off.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah. Because the lights don't light up at the front, right? They're not supposed to, Michael? Or yours?
No,
right? Just the back.
That's right.
And yeah, I guess that's how you'd put it together, and that's probably
it's heavy
for shipping.
Yeah, Izzy's working on a 6-scale one forever now. And that's got my name all over it. I'm excited to have that. And the wings are huge. But for a lot of you guys, since we're talking TIE fighters, when I end up getting my first, so I was introduced to studio scale models through Kurt Kuhn on a video that he did, and then I was introduced to Mark Elkins, and then Randy Cooper. Then I was really lucky enough to be introduced to Mike Salzo, who a lot of you guys know does about 95% of my models. But early on, I was learning how, like on these studio scale models, that they don't. Do you want it with the glass in the front of the cockpit or without the glass? And for you guys that don't know, without the glass is how they shot it in the film, and the reason for that. And I'm just saying this because there's a lot of people that don't know, is because of the reflection of the glass. So, obviously I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. And there's a lot of the models that I have, the studio scale models, anytime that they're being built, I want them to be as accurate, but I'm not like a lot of these crazy ass retarded diehard people that are like, it's missing this or it doesn't have the niche right here, because let's be real about it. I'm grateful usually on the artist that's building my piece, and
Yeah.
grateful just to know that they're building it and that they're going to get it as accurate as possible. So that's how I usually go off of getting a model built. But it's been so difficult, when I started doing these little videos in Star Killer 77 about, the studio scale. I was just learning a lot about it. And
Hmm.
I've had so many hits, 50,000 hits on one, deal. And I look back at that now, it's kind of funny because I was pretty clueless, and I'm still clueless. I don't know it all about, but the thing is, it's been so difficult to get studio scale models, right? We've
Yeah.
had Kurt on there. We've talked about Modeler Magic,
No.
and it's crazy since Collection Wars started. There's been an outpouring of releases because thanks to 3D printing
Yeah.
and people like MYC
Right.
and the guys over at EFX. So any of you guys that have been to any of the conventions, that will walk up to the EFX booths and see Steve Neeson talking about this badass, Y wing or probe droid or whatever. I mean, it was in the idea of getting these things built was really, really cool, but it just,
Yeah.
people after a while knew that it just wasn't going to happen. And 3D came out, and it's crazy, right? The amount of releases that people have.
And the price, right? That's the
The price
crazy,
point's
dude.
huge.
The
It's
price
huge.
point. So for example, obviously we know, NYC put out the statue more.
Yep.
It has more of a statue of it. It's
Yeah.
not like the studio scale as far as like the plastic, right? The material,
Yeah.
the resin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and there's a few other companies that are making these kits sometime. But then the other unlicensed company that recently announced one is Force Laboratory. Remember, they're the ones that did that Boba Fett rifle that I ended up getting. It's like a company from China, um, and they recently announced that they're doing. And here, let me bring that up really quick. So they're doing a whole little trench run thing
Very
where
cool.
they're gonna have like a studio scale.
What's that? What's that scale?
I think they're at 1/24th. Like they're
Oh
actually.
wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, it's a big. It's a. Well, I mean, look at the size of this person,
I
right?
got you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's. I think it's relatively cheap what they're selling them for. And
Yeah.
look at.
Wow. Marcel, it's good to see you in the chat. And what you say right now is correct. It's challenging to capture on the precise. So yeah, there's so many. It's so funny because you guys in the studio scale world, you would be blown away. It's like Europe, the Europeans against the Americans fighting in regards to what's accurate and what's not accurate. If you guys knew the details of some of these diehard studio scale modelers, you guys would laugh your ass off because it's ridiculous how they fight over the accuracy of a studio scale model. And let's be
Mhm.
real, there's only 20 of those some bitches that really give a shit. You know what I mean? So if you're buying a studio model, when I say studio model, within regards as an MYC model from Michael, dude, they're pretty freaking close. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And let's
Right.
be real on not everybody has $8,000 or $5,000 to spend on a model like
Right.
the Naboo. I haven't talked to Michael in a couple of days, but I saw
Yeah,
his
that Starfighter looked great.
holy shit, dude. I spent, I'll tell everybody, I spent like $3,000 on mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't know of any others out there. It's going to be at the, and it is a model that it was printed out and the guy, put it together.
Yeah.
But damn, dude. And then he
Right.
had the R5 in there. It's like,
And,
dude, the
and for
movie
what?
just
For $800, right? It was like seven something.
799. And so it's like, look, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, if you want to get studio scale, this is your best bet. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to go through finding them a really good studio model. And then when you find the model, getting it in hand, and
Right.
then holy shit, finding somebody that can actually put it together for you. Unless
Right.
you can do it yourself, which is great. But know that
Yeah.
they don't come with instructions. So
Right. Right.
It's not easy, you know.
And again, like the experience that some of these people have, even like Jason Eaton and like Ben, and all these guys that have so much experience because they've done now hundreds, right? I mean, you kind of can't compare it to that experience that they've gained,
Yeah.
uh, so I want to show a couple of your other models because
Yeah, for sure. And Marcel, thank you so much for the kind words, dude. I do what I can. I always tell people that, look, dude, I don't freaking know everything about studio models. But it's crazy, how far I've come in the studio world and, have educated other people and now seeing it in their collections. It's pretty
yeah,
cool. So here we got the Interceptor,
your
Return of
Interceptor.
the Jedi studio scale.
Who made? Or I mean, I don't know if you could say who made it, but what kit is? Do you know what?
So it's a neat kit, a Steve Neeson kit.
Gotcha.
And that was built. This particular one was built by Ben Yetter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great
Now,
job.
as far as size wise, like when you looking at it, is the middle part like the actual ball the same size as
Exactly the same.
the normal size? Okay, so
Yeah.
just the wings is the
Yeah,
only.
that's a good question. Though a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this one, that's your TIE bomber.
Yeah, that's actually how I was introduced to Ben Yetter. He had this thing for sale on Modeler Magic,
Mhm.
and fantastic paint set. I mean, it's spot on to the original. It's a beautiful piece, and it's a lot. It's. I'm
Tiny.
sorry, guys, I can't tell you if it's 177. I'm sorry, I don't know the scale of it right now. I'm a couple of bottles in, but I will. I'll tell you that it's obviously it's not 124 scale, and there are 124 scale models out there that are being sold, which is pretty badass. But there was never a 124 scale TIE fighter.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. That
Yeah.
right. They didn't use
No.
them in the film.
No,
Got it.
no.
Yeah, and it's a lot smaller, right? Like just
Yes.
size wise, it's a tiny.
Yeah, it's like a third
Yeah.
small. It's pretty small. It's it's probably about, I'd say 8 inches across and I don't know, maybe 7 inches, in the back.
So in the model world, Michael, so you got the regular TIE fighter, right? That you can get, obviously, right?
Yep.
It's kind of the standard one. You got the X1, which is Vader's. You
Yep.
get that. You get the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Bomber. Are there any other ones that I'm missing that you
For back then, obviously after Mando and stuff came out, they came out with some pretty cool looking crazy ass shit and all the different things. But no, that's
those
it.
are that's
Yes,
that's
man.
the baseline for
And
that.
you guys, one thing that we didn't really do, but there is nothing. I mean, even Vader's breathing more menacing than to hear that freaking that fucking TIE fighter going by. I mean, holy shit,
Yeah.
dude! It's like so cool, Even in Andor, I mean, we're sitting here watching this boring and nothing's going on in Andor, and they're walking across this beautiful, plains of greenery. It looks like they're in, Australia or something, and all of a sudden the TIE fighter comes by, and that noise, holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
It's just like,
Oh yeah. That was such a cool part of that, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
then I want to show, obviously you have your setup, right? You have your trench run.
Yep, this is a 16-foot trench run, and these are half scale.
The tiles.
A gentleman named Lonnie who did when Tom Spina first started out with Regal, before Regal Robot existed, with just Tom Spina designs. This guy Lonnie helped him out and built these little Death Star tiles, and they're 6x6s. And it took him almost a year to make. So this was before 3D printing. Every one of those was cast by hand. That's six.
Wow.
You can't tell in the picture. That's a 16-foot trench.
Yeah.
So he hand casted every single one of those 6x6 pieces, and then that's a Steve Neeson X1. He built it. Then the X-wing over there, that is a Salzo 5 version. Mike Salzo built that badass piece. It's really cool. This one's cool. It doesn't work half the time, but he even though it wasn't lit in the movie, he has it where it's supposed to be lit on the inside right there. And what was really funny is this thing was it was in Florida at the EFX booth. When Steve built it for me, he had it over there, and then I picked it up from the EFX booth.
Mhm.
But when I got back home to Texas, they were talking about the Star Wars Celebration, and the
Mhm.
one thing that they showed was this X1, which was really cool. I was like, "Hey, that's my model." And my
Yeah.
local San Antonio news media was really
Oh,
out of
that's,
this whole big place. They showed this X1 on there, and that weird,
yeah,
but it's cool.
that's funny. Front flasters are orange, not green. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me let me see if I can. Oh, sorry. Um. So what's your favorite? Your favorite, the classic out of the Tie Fighters, Michael?
It's a good question, and it is. Yeah, it is. And I'd like to say on the Stormtroopers, that like the classic Stormtrooper is just really cool, but
Hmm.
this guy right here is my favorite trooper, hands down. And thank you, Joel, for the nice words. Good to see you, Johnny.
And it's just so beautiful. So my goal, remember I was telling you about like, okay, studio scale, like, I don't want to get into it and this and that. Well, obviously I've been buying a couple kits, but I think eventually I definitely want to just do, the 3 or 4 TIE fighters, right? I want to have this one, the Interceptor, the X1, and then the standard one.
Yeah.
So I think with the X1, I might go with the MYC, right? I think we've been chatting with our buddy. I'm gonna try to score that off of him, and then I'll just need the Interceptor and this one. But yeah, I definitely want to have a little complete set there.
Yeah. And hey, I will say to JPF props, he
Mhm.
says, I know the sequels are taboo. Yeah, I know. But Kaido's TIE Fighter was actually pretty rad. Dude,
Yeah,
absolutely. It
yeah,
was badass. I mean, there are certain things, I mean, when it comes to design and,
oh yeah,
it's funny. There's a lot of really, really cool designs in that stuff. So,
yeah,
yes, that's true.
yeah. Like the folding wings, I really like that aspect of it. Like,
I know I've said it on the show. I think I have, but I was dusting off the Ralph McQuarrie EFX Vader
mhm.
helmet. Wouldn't it have been badass if Kylo Ren wasn't in that cheesy ass mask? Sorry for you younglings, but I mean, if he would have been in the Ralph McQuarrie Vader, that would have been badass, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he's such a. I mean, anyways, he's
yeah.
such a cheeseball mask.
I love seeing this because you could really see the size difference. So wait, is that tie interceptor? I mean, that's
It's
just
right above
normal.
it. It's right above it.
Wow. So
Yeah,
that tie bomber really is little. Like
yeah.
it's
It's real small.
wow. That's insane. I love that though. But the tie interceptor, I mean, I think Marcel was talking about that. It is just such an aggressive looking tie fighter that it's just so cool. I
Yeah,
love the
those newer ones, Marcel, it's badass. Like in Mandalorian, when that one dude showed up and the freaking wings folded. I
yeah.
mean, it was like George Lucas was probably like, "Oh shit, that's pretty cool." I mean, it
Right?
was badass how they. I mean, it looked realistic, like they worked.
Right.
That's what I still to this day can't get over is the foundation that Star Wars was built off of was just absolutely incredible shit in the mid 70s that nobody even could even imagine building, and
Yeah.
it was an absolute miracle what was brought together that built Star Wars. A miracle,
Yeah.
period.
So here's the other one, right? And this is I'm gonna let me hold on, let me open it up real quick. So the TIE Defender. So that's actually a very very interesting ship. Do you know what that one looks like, Michael?
I don't.
No, here let me bring it up really quick.
None of that stuff exists in my world. Sorry. Hey, and Johnny, unfortunately, there's only going to be, it's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to Mike Salzo about it today. There's only going to be probably 4 studio scale models in the restaurant. That's it. So, yeah, that's pretty wild looking.
Yeah.
It's cool, though. Did you see
Right?
the one that Joel did with Yoda in it? It's fucking
Yeah,
badass.
that came out great.
Yeah, that was cool, dude.
Yeah. But man. Yeah, no, these ships are I mean, honestly, as far as like collectors go, I mean, besides the X-wings, right? Because like you, right? Like Michael, you're doing the X-wings and you're going to do, right? Like Red 5 and
Yeah, I've got
Red,
all of them. Yep.
right? All of them, right?
Yep.
But really besides that, I mean, what other ships have like a collection, right? Like once you get one Falcon, it's not like you're gonna get multiple Falcon. You know, it's like
Right,
you're not
right.
gonna get like the original one and then the like new trilogy one. Um, I mean, the ATATs, you have like a gigantic one and then like a smaller, right? Like the studio scale one and then the much
Studio's going in a 4-foot one, about
right.
4.5 foot.
But in
So,
reality, the X Wings and the TIE fighters are the only ones that have like a wider variety of.
so coming from your childhood,
Mhm.
if you had any, I saw you had the ATST.
Yeah.
What out of all of the ships that are out there, and I'm talking to you two, all you viewers out there,
Yeah.
what was your? And I want to hear what you guys say. What was your favorite? And I know even if you know what, like Johnny, he's older, didn't have the. I mean, excuse me, he's younger, but older school stuff, 97 and up. What is your favorite model? Like if your ship, if you had to, what is your number one favorite ship?
Yeah. For me, it's the shuttle Tidarian. Like it's the
Oh,
Imperial.
that's cool. I didn't expect that. I think you've told me before.
Yeah, I
Mine
mean, well, the T16, right? I mean, the T16 for me, but I again,
kind of the same.
I really don't see that as like a model, even though it is obviously, but I see that more as a replica, if that even makes sense. But
It's so awesome, all you guys. So we got Brad saying X-wing. We got
yeah,
Johnny
Joel said
saying that the Jedi Starfighter. I don't know what that would be.
Falcon, X-wing.
Um, I don't know what the Jedi Starfighter is.
Is that
Is
that's
that
that's the little one, right? From the
is that
prequel.
like what Hot Toys is supposed to come out with?
No, the Jedi Starfighters isn't that the one that the yellow one that
Okay,
Anakin is driving in I think episode 2, right?
okay. Greg, that's different. I mean, it's kind of it's a
No.
speeder, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have to say, Kelvin says the Thai Advance. So grilled cheese and Sean Stone, my favorite too, dude. Snow speeder and the Red 5. I mean, dude, the X-wing's badass,
Yeah.
But I would have to say, I don't know if it's because my childhood is getting the toy or anything, but oh,
Yeah.
really? The TIE Fighter, that's cool. That's good to know from Pete.
Red
The
5.
Star Destroyer, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see my studio scale Star Destroyer. Check it
Yeah.
out. Star
You
Killer
gotta go
7.
check out that video Michael has on his channel.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, and I think Johnny asked earlier, but yeah, hands down, even though the medical frigate is just,
Mm.
off the charts detailed, with real cool shade and everything, the Star Destroyer hands down is my favorite studio scale model I have in my collection.
The Y Wing. Oh, interesting, Marcel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Y-Wing's bad. You know what? That probably comes in second for me. But I
The,
know, look, and then you think about the Millennium Falcon, that fucker's badass, right?
the Hammerhead Corvette. I mean,
That's different.
I expected that one actually to be on a lot of people's tops
Yeah.
because that's the first thing you see, right? That's the first ship.
Yeah. Yeah, the X-Wings, I mean, it was badass when the noise. Zzz. And that's another thing. I was saying that Star Wars was a miracle because, I mean, this guy was on a budget, but did you see in Elstree? I mean, when you saw the studios,
Mhm.
you could see, of course, they had the Falcon built. And
Yeah.
then they had a couple X-Wings and that Y-Wing, a life-size Y-Wing I mean,
Yeah.
in 1975, look at that shit. And today in 2023, we're like, shit, that's badass. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's guys. I know it's and gals. It's hard to pick. Oh, Slave One. That's a good one, dude. I
Yeah,
forgot.
that's I can't believe
Holy shit! I
no
forgot about
one's
Slave
brought
One.
that up, right?
Yeah, dude.
John
That's a
says his
good one.
seconds to cloud cars. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe that's the first time somebody said that.
I
That's
know. And you know what though? And even like the cloud car, I say it in one of my videos. It's kind of a boring ship, but it's got its own little thing about it. The twin pod cloud car. It's pretty badass. Yeah, that's cool. I love talking to you guys about that shit. That's fun stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's so yeah, so I think regarding the studio scale stuff, I mean, it's definitely hard to get into, right, Michael? It is expensive, but again, we'll see in a few years with the 3D stuff. If we start seeing just a just kind of a bigger market for that, and
There's
again,
no doubt it's happening.
yeah, I mean, and they might not be kind of the same, right? You
Yeah.
kind of lose the I don't know that touch that you'd get from parting all these models together and putting, kind of scratch building them. I mean, I know the TIE fighters and stuff. You can't really do that, right? I mean, they have to come from kits. It's not like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to. You can't scratch build these, right?
Yeah. And that's one of the things, kind of like the vintage. You can still find vintage out there, but I
Mhm.
feel
This is a good one. It's
yes,
like,
I saw that. Because when I heard somebody mention the land speeder is badass, but I
yeah.
freaking love the speeder bike.
Oh yeah, like
You
it.
guys, if y'all ever come to the dark side, you're gonna see a life size one. It's badass, and he's gonna be sitting on that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The A wing. Yeah, the A wing's
dude,
another
the
good.
A wing's badass too. That's
Yeah.
another really big one.
Oh, look at Illuminator Star says he just printed the TIE bomber from the Sci-Fi Studio scale modelers, and he
Cool.
says it looks great. Oh yeah, the Code 3 Slave One. Yeah, the little guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one.
Hmm.
I have the Code 3 Slave one. It's heavy. It's metal. I've got the Falcon from Code 3. Code 3 did a good job on that stuff.
Yeah.
I have the Code 3 Return of the Jedi Walker too.
Yeah. Johnny. Honestly, I if I had to do it again, obviously I think the T16 is different. Like I wanted that one. I wanted just full kind of control on that, and I wanted to test the waters. I just I I'm too picky when it comes to certain things. So like I think I would end up wasting more time doing it myself because I would kind of get frustrated and every mess up I would have to kind of redo it. I would probably just want someone to do it for me. And then if anything I could just like touch up a little, little weathering here and there that I felt like I don't know, just that I wanted, right?
Look at
But
JPF
that's
Prop
tough.
says, he says, I grew up in Marion County, and every year we had county fair. Lucasfilm would display studio scale models in the art exhibition, and I would remember being the only kid who cared to go look at them. Wow. Did you? I
Mhm.
don't know if you messaged me, JPF, but somebody said that they lived in Marion and almost
Yeah.
had the opportunity to go to Lucasfilm. I don't know if that was the guy or not, but yeah, that's pretty badass memory there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool memory.
The chicken walkers, yeah.
It's a mean ass thing. It's not a ship though. That would be a vehicle, right?
Mhm.
So I would put that with like the land speeder. So let's go ahead and ask Gabe, what's your favorite vehicle?
Ooh. Um, Probably the AT-AT.
Hmm,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That's How about you?
Ooh, man, I would have to say the speeder bike.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, the speeder bike is pretty damn
I
cool.
mean, remember when that thing, woo, when it first came out? That thing was badass.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that was him.
yeah, land speeder's really cool though, but you know,
Yeah. You know what I think? You know what I thought about doing, Michael? Because I have one of those like kids land speeders in my garage, like my
oh, badass!
the little ones for the
I love that.
ones that they sold at Toys R Us.
Yeah,
I was thinking about repainting that. I,
really?
I mean, right? I mean, why not? That'd be a fun little project. I mean, I would have to, make some time, but like, how cool would it be to like make it accurate, right? Like, get the
What
job.
made you buy that?
I bought it for my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, no, don't be getting in it.
it was when Toys R Us was going out of business.
Yeah.
They started cutting down all the prices. And at one point, they had stacks of them, and they were like $100, $200. Like, I don't even. It's something around there. And I was just like, well, let's just buy one. And then we bought it, and it's just been hanging in my garage. Like, I think my kids have used it maybe once during like the COVID shutdown, and then that's it. Like,
Yeah.
we really haven't even touched it.
Didn't Ryder who made Red Ryder made that, or who made that thing?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it was just a
Yeah, it's a really cool little thing. I've seen it recently too.
Power Wheels, maybe.
Yeah, that's badass.
So Sean says the AT-AT. What? Let's see. Land Speeder. Yep.
Yeah, Ray's speeder is badass, but hey, we don't talk about those.
That is a cool. The Sandcrawler, Michael. Come on, I can't believe you didn't go with the
I
Sandcrawler.
know, dude. Joel, he's trying to mess me up here.
I know.
That's funny.
Speeder bike.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, make that motor, right? Imagine that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So Scott.
Yeah, speeder bike. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was radio. Yeah, I guess it was Radio
Oh
Flyer.
yeah, I thought it was. Thanks, Jimmy. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
No. You want the land speeder? My kids would probably, even though like they don't use it, they're always bugging me to use it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta bring it down, like. But that, I mean, right? Wouldn't you think that would be cool? Like to do a little video on it, like how to like repaint it and weather it.
I guarantee you'd have a few, but then people will be trying to, how do they get one? And it's like,
yeah, that's true.
That's funny. The glider, far from he's getting crazy right now. You know,
Right.
like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, the B-wing. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, I love this stuff, and again, if I had room for it, I mean, and you're the one who inspired me to even start liking that stuff. Like I said, early on when I started collecting, especially like master replicas, I'm not even joking. I made like a hard line. I was like, I am not buying any of the studio scales. Like, I'm not interested in them. I'm not doing it. Period. And then I bought the AT-AT, right? And then I was like, oh, that's it. I just want one. And
I remember the journey, dude.
Right? I'm done. And then I found the Falcon. And then I'm like, all right, now I got the Falcon, and that's it. And then I found the Snow Speeder. And then I'm like, all right, that's it. And then the TIE Fighter. And now, the T-16. And I pre-ordered the Merlin models, what you call it? The Shuttle Tidarian, right?
Yeah.
I ordered that, which I don't know if that's even it's been on kind of on hold right now.
Yeah. Because it's that. Who's making that one?
Merlin models.
Yeah, it's not coming out through NYC, right?
No.
Yeah.
Merlin models. Yeah, and that one's expensive. I think I ended up paying like $2,000, like $2,400.
Have you paid for it all already?
Yeah, I think I'm missing maybe like 2 payments, like as I split it into payments.
Yeah.
But I reached out to them, and they're like, "Oh, there's been a delay because of some issue with the factory or something."
Okay.
So,
isn't it funny that all I got to say with people that say shit like that is they need to talk to the factory that Michael at NYC is dealing with, because holy shit, I don't know any company out there, licensed or non-licensed, that is on the freaking ball. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to stroke the dude. I mean, he's my friend and all, but I mean, let's be real. That guy comes up with stuff. I mean, how did he have? I mean, Wednesday they showed the Mandalorian with the R5, and
immediately.
Come on, dude. Let's be real. Come on. I mean, how do you do that shit? I mean, So
Yeah,
he's got a good marketing team, and
yeah,
I mean the guy
done.
comes through, dude. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Brad, I already put out one. I can't believe you didn't watch it. Come on, Brad. That's messed up. I guess I didn't post it on Facebook, like on the collection wars.
Man, what the hell, Brad?
I
I'm
know.
pretty disappointed.
I don't
And it's
know.
a badass video too, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
So I mean, I've got both of the DeLoreans thanks to Gabe, and I am because all y'all think this is the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean. It's not.
I have
It's absolutely the end of Back to the Future original, and but I love the details on the interior, Gabe.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that thing is so incredible detailed inside. And what's really cool is the Hot Toys original DeLorean that I got from Gabe.
Hmm.
When I got that from him, I took it to my guy Brandon, my buddy up there at the metal fabricator, and he's literally used that as the inspiration to build the real deal. And it's unbelievable how accurate. My guy Brandon, he's like a freak about. It's funny because they build these $300,000 muscle cars, and when I didn't realize what a fan of Back to the Future he was,
Mm-hmm.
and what he's done to this, just a half of a car is absolutely. I mean, I'll bring anybody that's into accuracy of a time machine. Shit, it's spot on. It's crazy, man. I just can't believe it.
Part 3 even worth watching?
That's funny. Hey, I'm going to tell you guys. I know it sucks, but it's better than part 2.
What? Yeah.
I'm
Oh
just
man,
telling you. I think
gotta.
because they say the word Clint Eastwood or something. I don't know, but I mean, guys, look.
Come on.
Back to the Future 2 sucks. I mean, it was cool. You see him. I'm trying to get in y'all's minds that love that. I'm trying to understand what y'all. I know what it was.
What was it?
Leah Thompson's big boobs. I just now it hit me that's what it was. It was the big boobs with Leah Thompson, and I get it, man. I'm upset.
That helps. That helps. That was probably part of it. No, it's the future part, Michael. That's it. It's just the future part. Like if I would honestly, I would probably just stop watching it after the future part. Like that's the best part. I mean, in my opinion, that's the coolest part. As a kid, seeing the shoes that like laced up, the cool, the flying cars, the like futuristic stuff. To me, that was the coolest thing. So
Yeah. But the story sucked, Gabe. The story sucked. You know what I mean? So it's like
JP just watched all 3. 1 as good as I remember, 2 worse than I remember, 3 better than I remember. Yeah, I mean the story. And I'm not gonna look. I'm not saying the storyline is great. What I'm saying is that the future part, the future aspect of it, was pretty damn cool. Like you got to admit that. Like that was pretty cool. Like the rest of it, yeah. Look, you could just build a quick set and get some old cars and dress. But like the future thing, like the special effects of like making them, the hoverboard fly and like,
yeah.
I mean that was cool.
That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far from Death Star. See, I'm saying Back to the Future 2, Temple of Doom, Return of the Jedi, Terminator 2. I agree with you. I'm on the same page right here.
Okay. Far from. I thought me and you had something going, but I guess we don't, man. It's no more. We're just we're cut the ties right now.
His dad floating upside down. Yeah, that was a little. Oh, where is it? That was a little weird. Yeah, I get it. But the pizza becoming big, like that was pretty cool. The TV, watching all the channels. That's kind of what we do now, right? We're like on our phones watching TV. Like we're doing so many different things.
Yeah.
The excitement.
Yeah. So this is the sad thing in my humble opinion, because I know everybody gives a shit. Back to the Future 2 was something that was put together really quick because part 1 was so successful.
It wasn't really quick. That was the longest gap. Like
Was it? Oh,
yeah, it was like what, like 4 years, 5
well,
years.
then all I'm going to say is for such a long gap, they weren't really into it. And hey, and if you guys might be lucky enough to meet Bob Gill at our grand opening, and you guys watch me tell him that Back to the Future Part 2 sucks. And I guarantee you, I will not hold back. And I will tell him in person at the restaurant that Back to the Future is the best thing ever that ever happened. But Back to the Future 2 sucks. And I guarantee you, he'd probably say, I know, but I had to, because if not, other people were going to, no matter what, Universal was going to do it anyways. And I needed the money. I mean, that's pretty much how it all went. So, but
that's like what Brad's saying. It's the only movie that's been able to go back into the movie. I mean, look, the first movie ends with them like, let's go to the future. Like,
yeah,
I mean, come on, it was set up for that. And then this one goes back in.
I get it. Yeah. And Back to the Future, and being serious right now, that the Back to the Future, the story about it, and it's funny watching, how what. So seriously, Are you listening?
Sorry, my wife was showing. They went to Chuck E. Cheese for a second party little kids party.
Partied out, huh?
I know, yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, so everything that happened in Back to the Future, I mean, I could name like 10 things that are really kick ass, like Pepsi free, you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? What's up with the life preserver? You know what I mean? There's so many little things that were in that movie that are just original and like, oh, that's so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not original. I love Back to the Future. Part 1, part 2, part 3. I love that whole.
But look, and I get I was a kid, like Return of the Jedi, shitty. That was your movie, and I get it. But the thing is, do you now, as an adult, even though Back to the Future 2 at your age and everything, but now as an adult looking back at part 1, part 2, and part 3, do you still see part 2 as the best one
out of the Back to the Future ones?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I
you better be careful with what you're going to say right now.
Look, I joke around. I get it. Look,
yeah,
I appreciate part 1 for what because of what it is. But again, if you were to ask me right now, hey, let's sit down and watch Back to the Future, and you gave me a choice to pick from 1, 2, or 3, I'm gonna pick part 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that maybe it's not the best, and I could agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than part 3 for sure. I personally don't like part 3 that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more entertaining than part 1 to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me say something to Brad real quick. So Brad, let's be real right now, dude. We're talking, and when it comes to what I'm saying, watch some of his interviews if you've seen him. He was very clear that he did not want to do a part 2, and he did not want to do a part 3. He did it. They're his babies. Of course, they're his movies. I've shot movies that, too, and, that I'm not real proud of. There are some that I am. But when it comes to part 1, that was just, that is what made it all happen. Right. So just like there's a lot of movies that are sequels that just aren't, what they are. But of course, respectfully, I would never say that, dude. I'm being funny. You know what I mean? Come on. So
part 3 is the best. It's like Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Man, Jose. But yeah, man. But cool. I mean, look, today we're supposed to be talking about
that,
we always go back into that.
We do, right? Which is it's awesome. I mean, it's funny. It's fun, dude. It's not real. I mean, people get all serious, but seriously, Brad, and I know that, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's not going to not do it when somebody, that's his, it's almost like his child, and somebody's going to take his child, whether he wants it or not, and raise that child. And it's like, no,
Johnny,
no, do that.
What? Johnny, you're going to put yourself out there like I did when I said I didn't watch Aliens. Come on, Johnny. You're going to get it.
Okay, Johnny. So this is what you need to be doing tomorrow, brother. You know what, though? It would be really interesting to know is what Johnny would think of Raiders of the Lost Ark in this era. Like my Haley, she's never watched it either. You know what I mean? And these kids that nowadays, it's just nothing.
my kids watched. I've made my kids watch at least part 1 and part 2. They've watched
Yeah.
Raiders. They've watched Temple of Doom.
Yep.
They always go back to Temple of Doom again. I
Yep.
think because for little kids, it's scarier. I really is right.
Yeah.
Part 1 is more kind of for grown-ups. Part 2 is for little kids. Like it's a more right. You got the little boy from Goonies. What's his name? Round. What's his name? Short Round.
I don't
Right?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, Short Round. Right? Like they put him in there obviously
Right.
as kind of
Right.
like a comedic character to for little
Yeah.
kids to be like,
Yeah.
oh, like I could be on this adventure with Indiana Jones, right? And I think that's why I think to me I feel closer to it because again I was probably his age when that movie came out. Hi, monkey. Did you say hi? Oh, you want to say hi? Say hi.
Hey, and how are you?
Nice.
You gotta go night night. Okay, you want to just tell everyone you need to go night night? Okay.
Sweet dreams, sweetie.
I love you.
Aw,
Oh,
you're
you're
lucky.
not happy that you have to go night night? Sorry.
Yeah, that's
All right,
awesome.
love you. But you had a lot of parts. No, you can leave it. Go. Take Marty. Go, Marty. No,
You know, talking about sequels, Gabe. You
Yeah.
know, there's been so many people that have wanted to know with Spielberg on such a successful movie like E.T., why would you not do a sequel to E.T.? And even I've written a sequel to it, and I think it would be a really good one. But it's just he cherishes that movie no matter what amount of money. Because obviously, if he came out with an E.T. Part 2, can you imagine the money that he would make off of that, whether the story sucks or not?
Yeah.
But he cared so much about the story that he's not going to let it happen to ruin. He doesn't want any of.
Right. You want to mess that up?
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up. Like a perfect example, Star Wars. You know, it started out, it was so good, you know what I mean? And now it's like, you know, there's so many different generations, right?
No. Armando Porky's 2 is Police Academy 2.
I think I lost my virginity to Porky's too.
Nerds 2. That's a good one. Oh, wasn't Temple of Doom the first PG-13? I don't know. Was it? That'd be interesting. I don't know that fact.
Well, I don't know. That's funny. I didn't know.
Yeah, see, you guys just like all the little kids movie, all the PG movies. I'm over here appreciating the PG-13.
Steven's a big, he's a big Raiders guy. He's like, this Johnny guy. Who's this guy?
I want to take my kids night.
Oh no, JPF. I am not looking forward.
Oh, you
to
want to say hi too? All right, my other daughter now.
Good.
Let's say hi. We're talking. Oh, you know. Okay, you could talk about this. Let's ask her. You watch the Indiana Jones movies, right? All right. What's your favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Wait, what is it called?
Well, what happens in it? Just tell me what happens in it.
So Indiana Jones.
Speak up.
So Indiana Jones, goes find treasure, and then, the bad guys do like Kalima and stuff. And
Kalima, can you recite that whole scene? What did he say?
I'm so proud of her.
to you,
Yeah, do it.
Kalima Shakti.
Kalima Shakti Day. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's when all the kids are kidnapped and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, the kids, they have to work like in this dungeon where they have to like hit rocks and stuff.
Yeah. They have to hit rocks. Yeah.
wow, I am so proud of you.
Remember what
You know what? That's
do you remember
awesome.
what they eat at the dinner table?
Bugs.
And bugs and what else?
And I don't
Do you remember when they bring them the little plate with the little and they open it up?
It's a monkey brain.
The monkey brain.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
All right.
Wow, that's awesome that you remember. Gabe, you're teaching them right. Do you know what
Oh.
Scooby-Doo
Wait,
is?
I'm doing a project. Hold on.
She's doing a project. Oh yeah, do you want to show
Okay,
them your
I'll go get
project?
it.
She's doing a
Oh,
project.
that's awesome.
She surprised me on this. Why she's gonna bring it. By the way, you know what other movie is her favorite movie? Karate Kid. Karate Kid Part 1 and Part 2. Like she'll sit there and she'll watch the whole movie. Loves Karate Kid. Look, she did here. She wants to show you guys her project.
Wow. With George. Whoa.
She's doing a project about George Lucas.
Timeline.
She has a timeline where it says, and it's because she's in dual like immersion, so she's learning Spanish.
Oh,
So he was
wow.
born in 1944. He studied at USC in 1966. He Warner Brothers. What?
I don't know. I don't know. I just
He
felt
gave him something in 1967. He he made THX in 1971, Star Wars in 1977, Indiana Jones in 1983, and the new Star Wars stuff. Right?
Mhm.
What
Where's
else?
Howard the Duck on that?
I have stuff at the bottom on the top too.
Yeah, it's in Spanish,
I'm
but
very proud of you. Wow. That you get an A+ from me.
right, like
In my for the Baby Yoda.
oh yeah,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like all the what was the assignment even?
You have to write about a famous person. And I was gonna do Taylor Swift, but then there's no books about Taylor Swift. So I was about to do Walt Disney, and then I saw Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel, and then I saw Stormtroopers in the back of George Lucas, so I did Star Wars because I knew he knows a lot, so I picked this.
Gosh.
Good job.
This is like the cutest thing that we've ever done on Collection Week.
So think
And
about
I need you to do me a favor, sweetie. Okay, one thing. Don't grow up anymore, okay? You're growing up too fast for me. Oh
so
my gosh. I'm
mean,
so proud of you.
think about what she just said. Like that's that for as a geek dad, like that's proud. She went through her thought was like, I'm gonna do a project. Taylor Swift, nah.
Yeah.
Walt
I
Disney,
was gonna do Justin
no.
Bieber too.
Oh, Justin Bieber, no. Walt Disney, no. Stan Lee.
Dad's like, no.
She thought about doing it on Stan Lee. She's like, maybe no. George Lucas, the creator of
Now I also draw Chewie down here.
yeah. Good job.
No. I'm super proud of you. Good job.
All right, say good night.
Bye.
Good night, sweetie. Sweet, sleep tight, okay? Oh man, dude.
Can you close it a little bit, right? Right?
Hey,
No.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you and Andy. Wow. I mean, if that doesn't show that you're a true Star Wars guy, I mean, I don't know what is. I mean, when your daughter is like knows about George Lucas and stuff, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know the fact that she did, and what's funny is that at her age, well, maybe I was like 9 or 10. I did a book report on George Lucas, and that's when I sent that letter to George Lucas. Remember it? The one that I got back
yeah.
where it was like, sorry, he doesn't do autographs. So it was around that same time. It's
That's
funny.
crazy. That was cool.
Can't wait to say there's a mistake. I know, right? Like, no, there isn't.
So we need an update. All of us need an update on what her grade is. Okay. We need to know. Hey, you need to show this little section of the video to the teacher. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
Yeah, no kidding, Steven.
I know. That's what we were talking about last week, where it's like we need to have a wife show and like we're just gonna talk, massive crap about our collecting habits.
And our bullshit, like, babe, I ordered that 8 months ago. What are you talking about? Well, on the credit card, it shows it cleared last week. No.
I was like, yeah, you don't pay it until it's shipped. Come on. Everybody knows that.
Oh, we're professionals.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
funny.
hilarious.
But yeah, man. But yeah, so look, I mean, we're gonna just do a kind of shorter show. Obviously, we could kind of sit here and chat and chat and chat.
Yes.
But we wanted to keep it TIE fighters, but now we're like 40 minutes into just talking about random.
Yes.
But that was fun, man. I think we should do that. What do you guys think? I think because obviously we could jump on here and just chat and chat, but me and Michael were talking today, and we're like, that would be kind of cool to kind of focus the chat on something very specific, like on weeks where we don't have guests,
Yeah.
where we could chat about something very kind of just pointed, right? This week, TIE fighters, and again, when we don't have a guest, then we could be like, I don't know, let's talk about lightsabers or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So
Yes. Yeah. And obviously, as we've got a lot of diehard, viewers, which is it's our family. You guys are my friends, and I so look forward to our Saturday nights together. And I know, a lot of times, there's a lot of shows out there now, that talk Star Wars and they talk, whatever it may be, which is really, really cool. And, Collection Wars has been around for quite a while. And Gabe and I we were like he just said, we were talking about it, and it's a lot. We do how many? I mean, I have been straight. I've missed maybe 2 shows. We've been on for it's 52 shows a year, right? Is that what?
yeah, I mean that's how many weeks, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, 50, yeah. So
we're about
and
on our second year, so
and we've had some incredible collections that nobody's seen, and there's not many people can say that the Lucasfilm guests and uh, the Kenner guests and a lot of the industry guests, whether it's Don Post or
yeah,
some of these other guys, we've been really, it's a very well respected channel. And what I've gotten out of this, Gabe, is I know Brad gives me a hard time when I say I love you guys, but it's a fucking fact. I do. I love you guys, and that's why I'm here every Saturday night. There's a lot that I don't do because I'm here on this show, but it's
yeah,
what I choose to do because I really so much enjoy it. And I've been, as you guys know, very preoccupied with the restaurant build, and so it takes a little bit of time away where the weeks go by so damn quick, where a lot of our talent, it's a lot on my part that you know it's already Friday and it's like, what are we doing this Saturday kind of thing.
yeah.
But we've got so many really respected viewers. It's just on a Saturday night, it's a lot on a Saturday night. And you guys, I don't care if there's just 30 of you guys. I just, y'all are so awesome. And I will tell you though that we do have some really, if you're into studio scale models after the month of June, we've got some really, really cool stories and actual artists that work for Lucasfilm that are going to be on the channel. I've already talked to 2 of them. It's just I'm trying to get through, getting our restaurant open by the month of June. So it's just been an undertaking for damn sure. But yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think we've hit, I think we're about to, like, it's pretty close. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll do some. It would be crazy cool if our 100th episode landed when we're at your restaurant.
That would be badass. I mean, I fantasize about being up on the VIP in the background with everybody eating and having a good time, and I'm doing Collection Wars live. Because even Denise was like, "What are you going to do with Collection Wars?" I'm like, "The restaurant, I don't give a shit. I'm doing my show, dude. I'm going to do it up there, and the
Big
people in
ass
the restaurant can wave. You know what I mean? Because I want to have it where people can see it live in the restaurant. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be cool. It's streaming it live.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
that'd be super cool.
yeah, and thank you, Johnny, for that comment, dude, for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm keeping that. That's definitely something. I actually, it's so cute. Like she used to draw me like baby Yodas, and she would do a really good job.
Yeah,
And I
that's
keep,
awesome.
all of them. So, you know,
Yeah,
when she's older, and in fact, one of her baby Yodas that she made is our we usually put 2 Christmas trees, like our main one, and then like I'll usually put a little Star Wars one right outside of the Star Wars room, and the tree topper is her little baby Yoda that she made.
that's so awesome.
Hold on, let's save after your indie revelation, Johnny. I know,
That's,
Johnny. That's gonna be your homework tomorrow, man. You're gonna at least watch part 1 and part 2. You
yeah.
know, and Michael's gonna say probably just part 1, but I
Yeah,
think
don't waste your time. I know Sunday's a very valuable day.
no. You gotta watch both. You can't just watch one without Temple of Doom. You gotta watch
Well, this
both.
is what I got to say about that real quick. If you're going to go and binge watch a sequel, why is it a sequel? Because part 1 was badass, so you got to watch part 1. You know what I mean? So
Oh, you definitely got to watch
just be
part
prepared
one.
to be disappointed. So, but it's all good.
The good thing about Indiana Jones and that whole series is that they don't really like. You don't have to watch them really in order, right? I mean, because
No,
it's not
no,
like you could
like
watch.
different adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that-
I agree with Armando. I actually thought part 3 was pretty good too.
yeah, part 3 is really good, actually. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you probably should watch them all, and then
yeah.
maybe Crystal Skull. I mean, I know there's some
Oh, that one
but
sucks. Yeah, no.
Shia LaBeouf in there and all that. Like,
What a great actor! He just something happened, dude. I don't know what happened with that guy. Yeah.
Brad, Raiders, A New Hope, Back to the Future, 2, Alien, Blade Runner. Wait, what? No, you just said that Back to the Future 2 was good.
Okay, wait a minute. He's
I don't
saying that Raiders sucks.
No, I
All right,
can't.
dude. I don't know what the hell.
Adam Savage only likes Raiders. There's a lot of people that only like Raiders, and again, it comes down to I really do think it's like an age thing, right? Because
No doubt. No
you
doubt.
you guys got to watch Indiana Jones kind of as you guys were more maybe not adults, but like definitely late teens, right? I mean, or were you already an adult when Indiana Jones came out?
Stephen, what is happening? No shit, dude. Jesus.
Mhm.
Yeah. I will say that I'm looking forward to meeting. Well, not meeting because I've met them at Celebration, but seeing Stephen and Carly. You know that they have that awesome their collection, and they're really big into the Western stuff. Lone Ranger and a lot of different type of Western stuff. And
Mhm.
not too far from me in a little town of Blanco, not even 25 minutes from here, there's a Western town there. So I'm going to take them when they get here. I'm going to take them over there, and we're going to take them to the restaurant and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So next Saturday I'll be able to tell you the story. They're coming down Friday, so looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Sean, it's funny. We had Timmy was on, and he says the same thing. The Back to the '80s, Timmy. He said the same thing. Goonies is hands down his favorite. Goonies is a comfort movie for me. I can go to sleep with just the
Yeah.
music in the background and the sounds and stuff.
Johnny's been there, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I think let me see, is it next week that's my birthday? My birthday's coming up. You know that?
Again, dude,
My-
we just had your. Are you serious?
Yeah, my birthday's March 26th.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, Gabe, time is flying. I just can't believe it's just like not too long ago.
Feels like it, right? So I'm like trying to see, but I think it lands on a Sunday. Let me see. March 20. Yeah, it's on a Sunday. So yeah, we could still have a little
That'd be fun.
collection wars action unless otherwise. But yeah, no, we should be.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, always good hanging out with you guys, and definitely my co-host Gabe. Thank you for your Saturday.
Yeah. It's not in January. No, that was my daughter's January. That's why I missed one of the shows. Yeah.
So my poor little Haley, her birthday was
Oh,
yesterday.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday to Haley.
Yeah, man. She came home and she was sick with a fever yesterday. Poor little thing, and all she wanted was Panda Express and to sit at home with her mom and dad. She didn't want any friends over. Just hang out with her mom and dad and watch a scary movie. And poor thing came home with a fever, and I still
No.
brought home Panda. She didn't eat it. She tried to eat it, but she was in bed by like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and woke up at like 2:30 with a broker fever, and now she's texting me as the show asking if I'll take her at 10:50 at night to guess where, Gabe? Taco Bell.
Love it. See?
So that's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, good to see you, Joseph. Yeah, we're wrapping, brother. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's always thank you, Armando, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, thanks again for everybody jumping on. Love you just love the participation and love, all your guys' comments throughout the whole show.
Always,
It
always.
really is, right? Really is a family. So really
That's right.
appreciate it, guys.
Damn right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Michael, I guess we'll call it a night and see everybody next Saturday.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Night.